I have it in a file, and then if you have questions on how to do something, I can open it up in SPSS and we can walk through it. So the first part was renaming these three variables that were just named V1, V2, and V3 in the original file you downloaded. And then part B was adding in the variable labels for those other three variables. And then C was in adding value labels. So if we look at the data view for this is the file you should have downloaded. It should look similar to this. So you have the response variable, the age variable, all of these different things. So what you were supposed to do was go into this V1 and change that to gender. And then V2 was homework. And V3 was practice. So it's just changing those names in that first name part. And then the second part was going in and changing this homework 1 to time spent on statistics, homework, and practice, number of sessions attended, and then changing enrollment from saying this full-time or part-time enrollment to enrollment status. And then the third one was just going into gender into this values part and adding 0 for male and 1 for female. And then the same thing for study. So 0 was this pedagogical sciences, and 1 is educational sciences. And then enroll, we changed from to full-time and part-time. Then you had to add these three other people into your data view. So you just wanted to go across at the bottom of this file and add them in. So you would add 6 here, and then just type in the age and keep going across until you have all three of them in. Okay, I'm going to open the answer key one because otherwise it's going to take forever. But that was what that first part was asking you to do, and then you wanted to go into the data view and variable view of that file and take screenshots and post them in your document that you submitted. So this is the screenshot of the data view, and this is the screenshot of the variable view, just showing that you put all of these things in that I had you do, the top part. Then number 2, so this was going into your variable view and then finding the homework variable and going to missing and adding 999, then pressing OK. And then you're going to go to run a frequency. So analyze descriptive statistics, frequencies, and then we would add that variable, which is homework, I think. Yeah. And then it gives us this beautiful table with the 4 missing people in this bottom part. Questions so far? Anyone? So next was the recode of the age variable. So to do that, you want to go into transform, recode into different variables, bring over the one you're recoding, which is age. I don't think I have the right, where is it? There you go. And then change the name, new recoded age, click change old and new values. So here's where you want to use the range for 18 through 28 would be your first value, your first group. And then the second group was 29 through 37. Oops. Add, continue, okay. And then it tells you that it did it in your output window. So it recoded it. But then you have to run a frequency. So you go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, Age New, bring it over, put homework away on there. And then, like magic, it gives you this table. Yay! Questions about that? No, okay. So now we're going to compute a new variable. So for this, you go into transform, compute variable, then target variable is your new name. So comptote is our new name. And then the numeric expression would be adding those three computer skills together. So this plus the second one plus the third one, and then pressing OK. And then it tells you it did it in your output. So it computed it and it says execute. That means it did it. So then, to show me that you did that, you're going to find the statistics, or just the frequency table I think I asked for. So frequencies, find that new one, bring it over. Yay! Total computer skills. Now I know some people have told me that they went into the file itself and actually added these together and made a new variable that way, which you can do, but it will take longer. And you're more likely to make an error that way. Questions about that? Okay. So this next one was doing two different tasks in one question. So what we wanted to do was use the age new variable to only select those people that were between age 29 and 37. And we wanted to find what their mean value or average value for this comp total was. So there's two ways to do this, and I'll show you both of them. The first way is to go to Data, Split File, Compare Groups, and then you go to the recoded age variable and bring that over, and then you press OK. So what this does is it splits the file by that age new variable. So you'll have the first age group, which was 18 to 28, I think, and then the second age group, which was 29 to 37. So then what you want to do is run the frequency on your comptote variable that we made, which isn't in this one. Where is it? Oh, it's already over. Thanks. Thank you. So if we do that, you see here how the table is separated by this first group, 28 and under, and this other group. But it doesn't tell us the mean value. This is just breaking it down by frequency. That's not what we wanted. We wanted the mean, so you have to go back to Analyze, Frequencies, click Statistics, and then check off the mean. Then continue, and then OK. And then in this top box, it shows you the same thing. It's split, but it gives you the mean value. So we're just looking for 29 through 37, so it's 9.26. That's one way to do it. Then you get both values for both groups. Now the other important thing to remember is you have to turn that split file off, or everything else you do will be split. So to turn it off, you go back to Data, split into, split file, and Analyze all cases. Do not create groups, and press OK. And then it tells you that the split file is off. So the other way to do this is to go to Select Cases, if condition is satisfied, then press if, and then here you'll bring over the new age variable. Then we want the second group only because that's who we're interested in. So you put equals to, and then press continue, and then press OK. So now it crosses out all the people who are not in that age group. So when you run the frequency to get the mean, it only gives you the mean for that group, that age group you're interested in. So that's the other way to do it. And again, you have to turn this off, or everything else you do after this step will be wrong, or it will be split or selected only in these cases. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So the last part is creating a histogram. So if you got more than one histogram, you probably didn't unsplit your file. So to do this, we just want to go to Analyze, Frequencies. The variable we want is Practice. So we bring that over, and then go to Charts, and check off Histogram, Continue, OK, and then ta-da, histogram. Questions? How did everyone feel about the homework? Did okay? Okay. Yes.
I have a question on homework, the part that talked about the ages of 28 and 7.
Yep. So making that variable, is that what your question was?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're recoding, you want to go into transform, recode into different variables, and then you'll bring over your original age variable. Whoops. I think this is the right one. So the other way, if you want to see just the variable names, is to right click and then click display variable names, and then it gives you this pretty looking thing instead of the longer version. So we brought over age, so we want to make a new name in this first top box. So I told you to call it age new, but you can call it really anything as long as it's not the same as the original variable. And then you put in a label, so recoded age into categories. And then we click change. Oops, I gotta put a different name because I already have that one in this. Age, okay. So then change. So when you click change, the question mark here disappears in that. So it's ready to go. So now we click old and new values, and you're gonna use the range to put the original range that we want. So for the first category, we want people that are 18 to 28. And then in the new value, you put 1, because that's your first category. And then click add, and it shows up over in this area. Then for the second one, it's mad at me. Okay, let's try this. If you click on this and then try and redo it, it gets mad. But then 29 through 37 would be our second value. And then click add, and then you have the two groups there. Then continue, and then okay. And then it tells you it did it in the output. And when you look at your variable view, it'll be your last variable created. And then it'll be at the very right side of your data view. Then to add the category names so that you remember which category means which, you click on the 3 dots next to that. Then 1 and that age range of 18 to 28, just so you remember that those are the people in that group, and 2, 29 to 37. So then if you would run a frequency or anything on it, when you do the output, it tells you range of values you're looking for there.
First one, I can have a little error. I said, under 18. I mean, under 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, oops. That's also an option in this case because it's the lowest, that is the lowest value. So if you wanted to use like the range lowest value through 28, you can do that. Yeah, that should give you the same thing.
That's what I use.
Yep, that should give you the exact same answer. And I did check that before because I knew people would do that. That's totally fine. Other questions about the homework? Okay. I'm going to close this down. I will post the answer key on D2L so you guys can see it for real. And I'm going to grade things. I don't know when. We'll see how it goes. Fall break's coming soon. I know you're all ready for it. I am too. Okay. So what we're going to do today, I printed out the worksheet, but it's also posted on D2L. So if you go to Module 5, which I know is confusing because this is still SPSS, but if you go to Module 5 on D2L and click this in-class activity, if you want to type your answers in on your computer, you can use that. If you want to use the worksheet, you can use the printed out copy. And then this YRBS in-class file is the SPSS file we're going to use for this activity thing. So I'm going to hand this out and I'm going to walk around while you guys are doing it and answer questions. So, well, I'll probably not walk around, but I'll stand up here and if you raise your hand, I'll come and help you. Does that work for everyone? You can work together if you want or individually. I'm not collecting this. This is not graded, but this is very similar to the homework assignment, homework 4, so it will be helpful for that. Okay? Let's do this.
It's in module 5.
The one thing I will say is that I put the wrong formula for BMI on the one I printed out, but I fixed it on the online one. So I'll write the correct formula up there. So I switched, and then I was looking at it and I thought it was wrong.